Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Friday, February 27th, 2015, with another eBay video. We're going to be talking about quite a few eBay topics today, and if you look at the whiteboard behind me, you can follow along. We're going to be talking about uploading tracking information, when to block somebody on eBay, if you should ever block somebody on eBay, a little bit more about negative feedback of use, a big meetup coming up with Thrifting with the Boys, and this week's eBay saying, as you can see on the bottom, hopefully, eBay is the land of opportunity. Okay? Before we get into the eBay topics, a little rehash of last week's video and some current events. It is 16 degrees out right now. Coldest February on record in this area. Absolutely awful. We still have a foot of snow on the ground that refuses to melt. So you guys out west and down south who love to call me on the phone and tell me how it's 70 degrees, and you guys know who I'm referring to, enjoy it. It's a gift. Last week I uploaded a new channel trailer to my video. I hope most of you guys got to see it. Also, my channel has been redone. My channel has been entirely redone to a new and cool layout where things are organized in playlists. I've had several people ask me if I could help them out with their channels or make a cool intro like that, and I have to be honest with you guys. That intro was professionally made. I did not do that. My friend did it. He did it for me, and it's great when you have friends that are code slingers or experts with Photoshop or, you know, graphic editors that do this kind of stuff for a living. It is absolutely awesome, and I thank them for helping me out. And you are going to see more changes to my channel in the near future. You may have noticed that lately I've been doing my videos here instead of at work. And one of the reasons for that is because I get too many interruptions at work with the phone and with people coming in, and I'm going to try and do most of them here, but I'll still be doing some from work now and then. Also, there will be some more upgrades because this channel is the only eBay channel that's been on YouTube since 2007 that presents a new eBay video every Friday. Hopefully, guys, it's helping you. I know from your emails and personal messages it seems to be, so thanks for sticking with me. And let's get to some more news. Okay, let's get started with eBay. First of all, I always encourage meetups if there's ever going to be an eBay meetup or get together in your area. So a special attention to those of you guys who live in Rhode Island. On March 12th, Jason T. Smith and Brian Goodman from Thrifting with the Boys will be in Rhode Island doing a meetup. They will be announcing it this Saturday on their Spike TV show, but you're going to be hearing it here first, as usual. News breaks here first. Alright? So if you guys are interested in signing up, all you have to do is go to their Facebook group, Thrifting with the Boys, and sign up there. Again, it's going to be March 12th at 9 o'clock in the morning, and they're going to be hitting 2 thrift stores, and they'll give you some pointers as to things you should look for and things you shouldn't. So hopefully if any of you guys live up there and want to attend, that'd be great. Maybe you could bring your video camera and do a short video about it. Next item, uploading the tracking on eBay. I've had quite a few people fret about this and worry. And guys, it's really not a big worry at all. As you can see on the whiteboard right now, my status at this moment is 98, a little over 98%. Now, keep in mind, I have every item scanned when I go to the post office. Yet, I never have 100%, and probably you guys will neither. This number fluctuates daily and should not be a worry for you. All right? Don't worry. Even if yours happens to be like, someone wrote in the other day and asked me and said, Joe, mine shows only 91%. Well, that's because it hasn't been fully scanned in yet. That package can be scanned multiple times through its journey. Just so long as it's scanned one time between when you ship it at the post office and when it arrives in the buyer's hands, you're covered. So don't worry about that. That's really a non-issue. Next up, blocking. Blocking can be a really heated topic. I have seen in the last few weeks 2 or 3 different people start threads in the Facebook groups about blocking. And the way it usually works is somebody will say this: John Smith bought an item from me and he didn't pay me. I blocked him. He'll never mess with me again. Or, John Smith bought an item from me, he paid me, he got the item, he returned it and he sent it back broken. I blocked him and he'll never be able to do it again. And then people will jump in with their feelings on the issue. Some people will say, yeah, you did the right thing by blocking him, I did the same thing. And there are some people that will say, no, I don't think you should have blocked him, because even though he dicked you over this time, he may not dick you over next time. And I just want to know what your guys' feeling is on blocking people on eBay. And I'll tell you mine. Lately I've mellowed a lot, okay? The only time I personally would really block somebody is, number 1, if they did not pay for the item. Now that's one time I think a person should be blocked, all right? There's an old saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Now there are some people in the Facebook group, some really good people that say, well, I don't agree with that because, all right, they dicked you over on the first time, but they may come back and purchase from you a second time and this time pay. And if that's your feeling, go with it. All right? You're entitled to your opinion. I myself have all my items in the fixed price category to avoid deadbeat bidders. All right? I really highly suggest all you guys sell in that category with immediate payment required, like I do, to avoid such a thing. Now with the returns, you can't avoid them. You cannot avoid returns, or cancellations for that matter. And while we're on that topic, a new thing I'd like to introduce to the show each week is how many returns and cancellations we each have. And I'll start it off. Since I talked to you guys last week, I had 1 return and I had 1 cancellation. 1 and 1. Both were interesting. I'll tell you about them. The cancellation was just the other day. My iPhone made the cash register sound. Cha-ching! I'm like, yeah, a sale. By the time I reached for the iPhone to look to see what it was, the person already sent me a request to cancel that quick. A matter of 30 seconds, an all-time record for me. I theorize it's because once they paid for the item, they got the sponsored search and they saw the same item cheaper. Again, I can't prove it one way or another. That's just my hypothesis. As for the return, do you ever sell something to somebody and you have a gut feeling it's going to come back? You just sense it? Well, that's what happened with this item. The person paid right away, you know, and they paid good money for the cap too. There's no disputing that. They paid top dollar. I sent them a new cap, and right away they started causing problems. I think I might have mentioned it to you last week. They said, well, how come I haven't gotten the cap yet? I'm only over in Brooklyn, which is right near me. And I checked the tracking and it said that they had been closed because of the snow. I said, you guys were closed yesterday and the post office tried to deliver it, but they'll deliver it tomorrow. So a few days went by, I didn't hear from him. I thought everything was kosher. Then he contacts me the next day and says, I want to return this cap. My customer doesn't want it. Now, nobody likes returns, but they are just the cost of doing business. So that kind of thing really doesn't bother me. And actually, it doesn't bother me at all because it's what I call a really hot number. It's the kind of thing I can sell locally or I can sell it on eBay. So how much money did I lose on the transaction? It cost me about $5 and change to ship the thing. So that's what I lost, all right? And he shipped it back to me, and that's that. So basically, as far as blocking is concerned, I think deadbeat bidders should be blocked. That is my opinion, okay? If you guys want to add your opinion, I'd love to hear it, whether it's pro or con. I've had a lot of people write in and say that their sales are basically iffy. Just like I've been telling you, some days are booming and some days are dead. In the last 24 hours for me, it's been dead. But earlier in the week was busy. Yesterday, Thursday, was a very good day. And you can never tell what's going to happen. There's just no predicting it. Back in December, I had stated that I heard through a reliable source that eBay was going to retire the Cassini search engine. Back then, it was rumored to be retired this month, sometime in February. And it has still not been retired, and I honestly don't know why. But guys, I am still sticking with it. I still think eBay is going to retire the much dreaded Cassini search engine. I sure hope they retire it. It's been very unpopular ever since it was implemented years ago. I would love to see them go back to the old way, and I think you guys would too. I've also had a few people write in, and I talked about this last week, but I want to rehash it a little, about negative feedback abuse. Now, guys, I'm sure you will buy on eBay as well as sell on eBay. How many negative feedbacks have you left in the last year or two? What, maybe one, perhaps two, if that? I have been shown examples of people that are leaving 25, 30 negative feedbacks when they've only had maybe 50 transactions. And that is a clear abuse of the system. And eBay has stated that when people abuse the feedback system, they will step in, that they have checks and balances in place to prevent this kind of thing. And from what Matthew showed me, in his case at least, that does not seem to be the case. All right? And I think it's important. I really think it's important. I am what you call an eBay fanboy, and I admit that. I love eBay. But when something happens that isn't quite right, I think it should be brought up for discussion. And again, it's not a widespread problem. I'm not saying every buyer does this. I'm not even going to say 1% does this. I'm going to say a fraction of a percent does this. But it's still wrong. And I really think it needs to be addressed. If any of you guys have been a victim of such a thing, I'd like to hear about your story. I think I had it happen to me one time. A guy negged me on an item, and I checked his history, and he had negged 3 out of 4 people. I mean, that's not right either. And in that time, I had even called up on it, and I made them aware of that guy. But all right, do you guys have any particular concerns right now about eBay? I mean, there are some things you cannot change. You cannot stop returns. Now, I have seen a few of you guys, including Rated R, state you don't take returns, and that is your privilege. I take returns because I get the 20% top rated seller discount. And let me tell you guys, 20% adds up really quick. So if that's what I have to do to get that TRS discount, of course, also giving great customer service, you have to do that as well. That's what I'm going to do. I have been a top rated seller for many years. I have 100% feedback on eBay. I've been on eBay since 1999, and I love it. Yes, we're going to hit bumps in the road, but hopefully we can work them out. I'd like to point out a difference, if I may, between an eBay customer and a brick and mortar store customer. Something I never talked about before, but you guys who are in retail will probably understand this. All right, let's say a guy in California buys a set of hubcaps from me from a 1978 Chevy. All right, I'll ship him the caps, he'll get them, then he'll leave me positive feedback. Thanks, Joe, you know, very good deal, highly recommended. And quite often he will also send me a personal message through eBay saying, Joe, thank you for sending me those caps. They are beautiful. I really need these to complete my restoration of my 1978 Chevy. I will definitely recommend you to anybody else out here that needs hubcaps. I noticed that a lot. That happens to be quite often on eBay, where people are very thankful to get my caps. Now, let me talk about an average brick and mortar store customer here in the Northeast, because people here are in a lot more of a rush than they are out west. Consequently, they're in a lot more of a bad mood than they are out west too. So people will often come in and they'll be in a bad mood before they even come into the store. Like, for instance, I had a woman the other day come in and she's mad because she lost her cap on her Toyota. So she comes in and says, I lost my hubcap. I can't believe this. I'm keeping you in business. She's keeping me in business. Yet, I'm saving her more than half. The dealer gets $100 and I'm charging her less than half that. So, you know, when I see that she's in a bad mood like that, I kind of play around a little and I say, what did you hit? The divider? And she says, no, I hit a ditch. I said, oh, was it a big ditch? And she said, it was a huge ditch. So, I mean, what does she expect? If you're driving your car, it's your responsibility to drive in a safe manner. I tell everybody to stay away from a ditch. I mean, who's going to drive their car there? It's just crazy. But my point, guys, is the guy in California was happy as a pig in you know what to get those 4 hubs, and he thanked me profusely. Whereas a local customer, bang, 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 I wait on her right away, and she's upset because she lost a cap, because she drove crazy. So I'd like to know, you brick and mortar guys, do you notice that? Do you notice people seem to be more appreciative on eBay than they do locally? Just something I figured I'd throw out there and get your opinion on that. All right, let's rehash some of the topics I just discussed, and I will dismiss the class for the day. First thing, guys, anyone up in Rhode Island, if you want to get to a great eBay meetup, you can hook up with Jason T. Smith and Brian Goodman from Thrifting with the Boys on March the 12th. Starts 9 o'clock in the morning up in, I think it's Providence, Rhode Island. Yes, it's Providence. So if you're in that area, you want to hook up with them, jump on Facebook, Thrifting with the Boys, and you can register. Don't worry about your tracking uploaded. Mine has never been 100%, ever, at no time. And yours probably won't be either. I think I've seen one person, David, had 100% one time. He showed me a screenshot, but other than him, I've never seen another person with 100%. Guys, do you believe in ever blocking somebody on eBay? And if you do, what circumstances does it require? Cancellations and returns. If you'd like to share how many you had this week since last Friday, I'd love to hear it. Other than that, I'm going to bring this to a close for now. Of course, I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I will see you guys next Friday right here on the Crazy New York Driver Show, the only existing YouTube weekly eBay channel there is. Thank you for making it a success. Rock on, guys.